Hi everybody, welcome to Reality Buzz TV. Come. Putuman. Married at first sight. Where we write or where we write about Tamy and Kum. Because we were wondering, are these two doing the experiment or what? Okay. Ukumo was always working. She's supposed to be shooting with her husband, but she's not there. Finally, we find out that the job that is very, very busy is a man. You know? How Ukumo had a whole man during the experiment. Okay? And they kept quiet about it until the last day. Okay, that couple was very suspicious, and it felt like maybe they don't even live together, and they didn't. Sometimes the Kuma would be, doing her own thing, and then Taban would be left there. And I'm sure even Taban was doing his own thing. They were never in the experiment, those two. Anyway, let me talk about the other couples before I get into what happened with Tabang and Kum. Now, guys, listen, I'm happy that my babies made it, okay? Kuzo and D. Okay, I was happy. I'm still worried about whether their marriage is going to last, but I feel like they are both committed to it. So I think they are going to give it their best. So I want it to work. Okay, I want it to work. I was worried about the heartbreak. I felt like if they decide not to go on with the experiment when Kuto wanted to, I was worried about Kuto being heartbroken. If Kuto decided not to do it and D was wanting to move forward, I was worried about D's heartbreak. I felt like it was going to be a lot because I do feel like they had bonded. Yes, they had ugly fights, but who hasn't had an ugly fight with their partner? So So it wasn't like one of those where I feel like they can't fix things. And I feel like now they've seen each other at their best and they've seen each other at their worst, and they know now how they fight. So when they get into a fight, they know what to expect from their partner. And if they commit to work on themselves and to work on things that, because I think the advantage is that they're going to get to watch themselves on TV, and they're going to see things that we saw as well. D will see things that we saw. Kuto will see things that we saw. And if they're committed to the marriage, there are things that they would want to fix. So definitely, you guys, I was happy that Kuto and D are deciding to stay together. So they are going to continue with their marriage outside of the experiment. Now, you guys, here is a challenge here. Kuto is a good-looking boy, okay? Or a good-looking man. So, and I feel like because he was such a good guy and people were feeling like Odi was not treating him right, I think the DMs, is there a way to cancel the DMs? Is there a way to close the DMs? Because I feel like the biggest struggle for D would be just Kuto's DMs, because I'm sure they're going crazy. I've seen even when you go on his Instagram, when he posts something, hey, I'm a comments there. Hey, what's this? Hey, what's this by a hunter? Hey. So I feel like that's going to be a struggle, because it's something like that can make a person feel like I have options. I don't have something here. Because our DMs are going crazy. So yeah, I think they're going to have that challenge. But you guys, I feel like the fact that they have kids and their kids are going to be part of their experiment, or well, it's not longer an experiment, but the kids are now going to be involved. It's not going to be easy for them to just be like, I'm done here. And that makes you want to try even harder in a relationship, when you know that a breakup is not just going to affect you, it's going to affect other people, and one of them is their kids. Okay, it's two actually. And yes, you guys, I wish that I could watch them some more. I wish they could do like a spin-off or something where we get to watch Kuzo and D, how they do after the show. But I'm sure that they're tired of the cameras. So maybe they won't be willing to do the spin-off. But it would be nice to actually see what happens with them after the spin-off, and also see the lobola and the what. Listen, I think Ukutso no Noti were really good at hiding the fact that they were still together. Because every time you see Ukutso online, he's alone, and also with Odi, so they were really hiding it because they ended up together. So I love it for them. Then let's come to Boitsepo and Sebenzile. And the experts had the same issue that I was having, that I felt like it was too perfect, which is not a bad thing, you guys, but it's like, were they hiding the imperfections, or there wasn't any fights, there wasn't any disagreement? These were people that were really good at communicating, so they were okay. It just looked too good to be true. But I guess it was true, because here they are still wanting to stay together. I feel like the time that they spent apart, because they had to spend time apart before they actually went to the commitment ceremony. And anyway, I think the time they spent apart, they had challenges during that time, even though they don't talk about those challenges. So definitely, I think Boitsepo and Sebenzile, now I feel like, no, I think they really do have a chance of making it in their marriage. I was doubtful at some point because of how perfect they seem to be. But I feel like, no, they might actually make it. So I like it for them. Then, you guys, it was... Yay! Tamy and Uz. Listen, you guys, I knew that Tamy was going to want to stay. I wasn't sure about Uzitobile. But when they actually did the commitment ceremony, I didn't like the fact that Tamy was like, you know what, if Tobile wants to continue, I'll continue. I'm okay with that. If she wants to go, I'm okay with that. And I'm like, You kind of want the person to be like, I want to stay. I love or really like this person, and I want to try. Not somebody that's going to be like, I guess if she wants to continue, I'll continue. But if she doesn't, oh, well, And, I guess I was a little bit shocked that they both decided to stay. And I don't know, you guys, it wasn't, we didn't see Tamy and Uz totally enjoying their marriage. It was just a struggle. And I feel like marriage is supposed to be, fun with struggles. It's not supposed to be a struggle with a bit of fun. You're supposed to have more happy days than, days when you're upset. So you're supposed to have more happy days than the days that you cry. I feel like they were crying more than they were happy. So I don't know, you guys. It's like I was happy that they're staying together, but... and then Tamy, I'm a Vawzake. There's time to do this and time to do that. There's time to do that, time to let go, time to hold on, time to run, time to sit down. I'm talking about Harry. I mean, his vows might as well have been that there's time to drink tea, there's time to drink Coke, there's time to watch TV, there's time to watch a show on your... It was just like that. It was like a long thing. Time to do this, time to do that, time to do... It's like even he didn't know what to say. Except he wanted to say to Zitobile, listen, our marriage has been a challenge, but I guess if you want to try, I want to try too. Those two, you guys, I don't know if it's going to work. Now, but they might shock us. Now, here's the thing I was upset about. The experts are sitting there being like, these two, they're not compatible. I'm like, but you guys knew that. You guys knew that when you put them together. Those people knew Tamy no Tobile were not going to be compatible, because even us as the viewers saw it, we were like, how did you put these two together? Even before the show started, on the wedding day, after listening to what Tamy wanted and listening to what Uzitobile wanted, they just gave them what they didn't want, So I was upset about the fact that how do you play with people's lives like that? Like, because they're sitting there saying, really, these two are not compatible. So you guys did it on purpose to put those two together, knowing very well they were not going to work. For what? For the show. Now, these people are committing to a marriage that doesn't really have much chance, you know. It's unlikely that it's going to work. And you're sitting there like, these two, they're not genuine. The experts, I was just not impressed by that whole thing when it comes to Tamy and Zitobile. You put them together knowing very well that they were not going to be compatible. Everybody could see that. Now you are sitting there acting like they are making the wrong decision to stay together. They should go their separate ways. But these people were committed to the experiment. They wanted somebody that they wanted to marry at first sight, and they were trusting you that you were going to match them with somebody that the type of person that they wanted, so that they have a better chance of their marriages working. But now you are sitting there like, hey, these two. I wasn't impressed with the experts. I wasn't impressed at all, you guys. But they decided to stay together. I don't think that it's going to last. If it lasts, it's not going to be a fun marriage. I don't think that they're going to be happy. And with Tobile, guys, I hate saying Utumuntu cries too much, but Tobile cries too much. Like, you know, like I pick up this pen, Tobile is crying. I put down the pen, Tobile is crying. Actually, there's something she needs to work on. It's not wrong to show your emotions, but you're emotional about everything, girl. You know, your shoe doesn't fit you well, you cry. You know, I don't know. I feel like there's something that she needs to work on. Especially because it's been a challenge for Tamy to cope with that, to cope with the fact that Tobile is just overly emotional all the time about everything. It's not everything that is so serious that you need to cry about. So she needs to work on something. But you guys, I'm hoping that it works. I'm hoping that they shock us by, you know, being able to stay together. It looks like at the reunion, they're going to talk about challenges that they have. Tobile is going to be crying again. I mean, it's honestly, you guys, she might as well have married an onion, because she's just crying, okay? Tammy's like an onion at this point, because every time she sees Tamy, she cries, okay? So, yeah, you guys, but I was not impressed by the experts. I was not. They should have been sitting there saying, guys, did we make a mistake with this couple, you know? Don't act like Uzitobile and Tamy are just crazy to think their marriage could work when you are the people that put them together. Don't act like that. They should have been sitting there and say, guys, we might have made a mistake here, you know, because nobody's just going to give up on their marriage just like that, because they were taking it serious. They want to give it a try. The families know each other. Tamy's family has welcomed Tobile, as Tobile's family has welcomed Tamy. So how are they expected to, at least if they didn't involve any families and friends and all of that. Now, how are you sitting there saying, this too disaster, it's going to end? You're playing with people's lives. I don't know. We need the new experts next time. We really do. I didn't like them. I didn't like them. Why put together people that you know they're not going to work, and then be so disappointed that they are trying? Anyway, don't make me start with the experts, okay? Then, you guys, Tamy and Kum. We've been saying, you guys, and I've seen some of you in the comments, like there's somebody that even said, Tamy no Kum are just there for the free drinks and the free hook. By money hook. Yay, I they are addicted. Because we could hookah, guys. What exactly are you smoking in we hookah? Whatever it is, they're addicted to it. Like every scene, the love of a hook. So now this was a thing with Utabang no Kumo. Kumo was the first one to say the vows. Okay, so she says all of these vows, and then she says she's making a decision to stay. All of them, you guys, were speaking beautifully about the experiment. Okay, then it was time for Tabang. Yeah, did Tabang not shock us? And I really felt like with those two, that Tabang was the one that was probably going to decide to stay. The person that I wasn't sure about was Ukumo, because of how much she wasn't committed to the experiment. But it turns out that she wants to stay, and Utabang, as much as he would like to stay, he can't stay because Ukumo is in a whole other relationship. Ukumo is not okay. So Uthabang reads ama vows akhe, and then he says ukuthi obviously he can't stay because recently he found out that Ukumo was basically seeing somebody. This is what he found out the first week of their marriage, that she was talking to somebody. So Uthabang had asked her, can you just settle that situation so that they can move on? They can focus on the experiment together and then decide what they want to do. But Kumo never did that. But Uthabang thought that she had done that, meaning that she had broke up with the guy. I don't even know how you go and marry someone else without ending the other thing. So then, you guys, he says that he found out because at some point Kumo gave him the code to her phone, and he went through the phone and found out that Kumo is still seeing this guy, still speaking to this guy. They have long phone calls. There's even a night when Utabang Kumo called the guy. They spoke on the phone for a long time in the middle of the night, and then she came back to bed and was crying about that guy. In addition to that, Ukumo has an account where she is catfishing the guy. So she is acting like this person that is advising a guy to get her back, to win her heart back. How crazy is that? Ukumaga pilile, guys. So Utabang find out all of that. Listen, guys, I've always said, listen, people always say that you must not touch your partner's phone. I feel like you need to touch your partner's phone, especially when you are in a situation where you like, listen, I need to make a decision about my life. This person is not going to tell me the truth of what is happening. So since I want to know the truth and so that I can make the right decision for myself, you must touch that phone. The phone has everything that you need. So if you need answers, don't touch the phone if you just want to live your Delulu life, okay? Don't touch it. But if you are in a position where you feel like I need the answers and this person won't tell me the truth, just go through that phone. The messages, the archives, the deleted. If you had to just install that that WhatsApp thing that retrieves all of the deleted messages. The phone calls, look at the timing of the phone calls, how long the way. Yeah. So Tabang did that. And it worked for him because he ended up finding out what was happening with, Ukubo was so embarrassed, guys. Was so embarrassed, especially because she had said she wanted to stay. And I don't think she expected that from Tabang. And also she was trying to say, Tabang, but you also have your own person. There is a female, what, and Tabang is like, it's not the same. But it was embarrassing to watch. But I was like, that's why this woman, it felt like she wasn't really part of the experiment, even though she was in the experiment. She was cheating. So I guess that's why, you guys, their relationship was feeling off. And also, I feel like they must have tried after, because apparently they've been seen together. Utabang no Kum. They have been seen together after the show. And they were the only couple that people kept on saying was, but these two are still together. We've seen them. But they are the couple that did not stay together. So I think the others, because the others had made a decision to stay together, maybe they were given the instruction, don't post anything that gives it up, you guys are still together. But Ukumo and Tabang didn't get that instruction, because obviously for them, they had decided they were going their separate ways. So if they decided that they wanted to spend time together, they could. Okay. So, yeah. But I did have a thought, you guys. I did have that thought. Because what if they're just playing with us, these two? Because they've been acting a lot. What if they just decided they wanted their final what to be so dramatic? This whole story, they just created this whole story of Ukumo cheating. And yeah. Anyway, you guys, that's how it went. So Kuso and D are together. Sebenzile and Boysepo are together. And Tamy and Tobile. they are together. I wonder with Bazo in Dubai because by the time he wanted a wife so that he could take her to Dubai. Bahamba ufundisa lapha in Dubai. I didn't know what's kunama teaching opportunities in Dubai for South Africans. I guess because they are both educators, they can go to Dubai. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about on this video. Please like it before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Tanda.